live in high definition. This is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 11.
News 4 is your local election headquarters on Election Day 2018. Good evening, everyone. The votes have been counted, and now we're waiting for all the votes to be counted across New York State.
The balance of power in both Albany and Washington, D.C. is at stake tonight. Western New York voters have a say in which party holds the majority in Congress. We have been focusing on that spirited race in the 27th Congressional District. And these are the votes as we have them right now. With 56% of precincts reporting, you can see that Chris Collins is leading by 52% over 46% for Nate McMurray.
And let's take a look at the Southern Tier congressional seat. That's Tom Reed being reelected tonight at this point with 70% of the vote in. Reed with 52%, Tracy Mitrano with 48% of the vote so far tonight.
In the governor's race, Andrew Cuomo will win a third term. Cuomo was declared the winner in this race against Republican Mark Molinaro. That race was called just after the polls closed tonight at 9 o'clock. Governor Cuomo thanked his supporters just a little while ago.
I am humbled by the support of New Yorkers. I'm gratified by their trust. I will work every day to vindicate the confidence that the people of the state of New York have put in me.
Andrew Cuomo now matches the political fortune of his father, Mario Cuomo, who also was elected to 3 terms as governor of New York State.
And, of course, we have our eyes on a number of important key races all across the state tonight.
But we begin our team coverage now with a closer look at that race between Chris Collins and Nate McMurray. Rachel Monjovi is following the McMurray campaign in Hamburg. We're going to check in with her in just a couple of minutes, but first, News 4's Chris Servatet spoke to Congressman Chris Collins just a few minutes ago. He's live on Elm Street in Buffalo with more. Chris?
Hi, Jackie. This is the building right here on Elm Street that Congressman Collins is watching these results come in with his team. We showed you those numbers at the top of the show. The congressman is enjoying a lead right now, but we do want to let you know that the votes in Erie County have not all been taken into consideration there, and we do expect McMurray to do better in Erie County than outside of Erie County. The congressman still has a semi-comfortable lead, but that's something we want you to keep in mind. Now, the congressman did show up here a little while ago, and he did answer some of our questions before he went into this building. Of course, Congressman Collins facing federal indictment on insider trading charges and a charge of lying to the FBI. When I asked him if he's worried that people will take his legal troubles into consideration when they're in the ballot booth, he said he hopes not, obviously. And take a listen to this allegation he also made.
There's no question the Democrats are angry. They are very loud and boisterous. I mean, they picketed my house, my office. Nate McMurray put up a few dozen signs in my neighborhood trying to get under my skin. He doesn't. That's just, the Republicans are supporting me with enthusiasm. Something I didn't know 6 weeks ago, but I've since discovered as I've traveled through the district. No hesitation whatsoever. I stopped the poll.
Now, that was an interesting comment, we thought. A Siena poll in this race a couple of weeks ago did indicate that about 1 in 4 Republicans said they would vote for McMurray in this race. So as these results are all coming in, these are all little anecdotes we're taking into consideration as we try to determine who will win the race in the 27th district. Reporting live from downtown Buffalo, Chris Servatet, News 4.
Thank you, Chris. And as Chris just mentioned, the McMurray campaign is also very eager to find out what happens tonight.
His campaign is holding an election night party in Hamburg. News 4's Rachel Monjovi continues our team coverage now from the McMurray camp. Rachel?
Well, Don, Jackie, we just got word that Nate McMurray is in the building here at his headquarters. He is expected to come out and make a brief speech in front of dozens of supporters here. We're not aware of what he is going to say, but it sounds like he is coming out now. I'm going to throw my mic up there to hear what he has to say. We're going to listen into this. This is obviously a race that everybody has been anticipating for a while now, and we're going to hear from Nate in just a second.
All right, I'll start over again. Here we are tonight. Thank you for all being here. With that, I'm just going to turn the mic right over to Nathan McMurray.
Listen, I'm looking out at my brothers and sisters, my family, people I've spent the last year of my life getting to know, and I believe in you. I believe in you. We believe in you. Look, we're going to come up a little short tonight. We're going to come up a little short. I don't want you to be disappointed in that.
Love you, Nate.
I love you guys too. We did something great.
Yeah.
It is never shameful when you fight a righteous fight. And that's what you did. I said since the beginning we're going to break the machine, right?
Yeah.
We're going to break the machine. But sometimes when you take on those big tasks, trying to break the machine, it doesn't break. You put a dent in it. But if you keep whacking, eventually it's going to break. Now, we are fighting something big. I mean, look it. Let's be honest. We're going against a man who's criminal. Look it, he wouldn't face us. He hasn't faced you for years. He wouldn't face me. I wish I could call him right now and say, good luck with your good luck with your future endeavors, whatever they may be.
Making license plates.
But I can't make that phone call because there's no way to get a hold of him. There's been no connection. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that he ran a campaign where he lied about me. At the polls today, woman came up to me and she said, "You look a lot less scary in person." They said things that weren't true, that attacked me and attacked my family, and it was wrong. It was wrong.
Shame on you, Collins.
But what was right is what we did.
Yeah.
Now, think about it. Until late tonight, you were out there knocking doors. You were out there meeting people at the polls. Where were they? Nowhere. You guys were out there. We had thousands of people.
You are seeing the breaking news moment of this campaign, this long, hard-fought campaign in the 27th Congressional District. Nate McMurray telling his supporters there in Hamburg, we're going to come up short tonight. He also said it was a sad thing that Chris Collins lied about him and that he would like to congratulate him, but he has no way to get a hold of him right now. So there it is, Nate McMurray conceding the race in the 27th Congressional District.
Did much better than many people imagine.
It's exactly right, and that's what he's sharing with his supporters there. We'll bring you more on that as we get it, but I thought that was quite a moment there for him to come out and say, we're coming up short. This is it. So let's move on with other races now. Local Democrats and Republicans also watching other key races for county and state offices.
And tonight's results could swing the balance of power in Albany. And George Rickert is with the Erie County Republicans. Our coverage continues with News 4's Jen Schatz, who's with Erie County Democrats in Buffalo. Jen?
Well, Don, that concession that Nate McMurray just gave is not being felt here at the Erie County Democratic headquarters or the 8th floor of the Larkin building, and the vibe here is still honestly cautiously optimistic. So word of that concession, the vibe has not changed here, at least not yet. Nate McMurray has not joined his Democratic colleagues here yet, and it's not sounding like he's expected to, but that vibe again has not really translated into the headquarters here what has translated is a sense of optimism, as I mentioned. Congressman Brian Higgins won his seat. Assemblymember Sean Ryan won his seat as well in the 149th district, although those were not seats that were really the Democratic Party was really worried about. Obviously, Governor Cuomo won as well, Senator Gillibrand. Those were not seats that they were worried about. What they are focused on is potentially gaining traction in some of those races that are further down the ballot. Specifically, we're talking about the race for Erie County Clerk. Now, Angela Marinello, right now, with 71% reporting, is dead tie with Republican incumbent Mickey Kearns, and that's something that Democrats are eyeing closely. Now, I did mention Congressman Brian Higgins. He was reelected tonight. That was not something that was up in the air, but I did get a chance to speak with him about what he would like to see change at the national level in the House. Here's what he had to say.
Congress needs to reassert its traditional, its constitutional authority to make laws, to make a budget. It hasn't done that. It has been marginalized by the White House. And look, our government was set up this way with checks and balances. We should be able to function with a divided government and toward the goal of working for the American people.
Now, we did just hear from Erie County Democratic Chairman Jeremy Zellner. He, too, says he is generally optimistic. There are a lot of down-ballot races we are still keeping a close eye on, specifically in the New York State Assembly. I hope to have not only those final numbers for you, but reaction from those candidates coming up in the next half hour. But for now, though, I'll send it back to you, Donna.
Well, here at the Republican headquarters, the two races that are making folks most nervous are the Ray Walter and Eric Bowen races. Both of those assembly members are watching. Sometimes they're trailing, sometimes they're up. It is going back and forth with those two assembly members, and at the moment, there is no sign of them taking the stage just yet. But joining me now live is Conservative Party Chairman Ralph Larigo here in Erie County. Ralph, we've heard a lot of commercials over the last weeks, urging people to vote their Republican candidates on the conservative line. What kind of a day was it for conservatives here in Erie County?
Well, again, in Erie County, we turn out a lot of votes on that conservative line. I'm disappointed nationwide. Obviously, I would have hoped for better. Statewide offices, the downstate controls New York State. But in Erie County, where the numbers say we shouldn't win anything, 2-1 Democratic, we continue to win, and those wins come on the conservative line. So we still have been successful here in Erie County with local candidates, and we still have put a lot of votes on that line.
Thank you very much. Ralph Larigo, Conservative Party Chairman. Back to you, Don and Jackie from Republican headquarters.
Thank you, George. And coming up, our Election Night 2018 coverage continues on your local election headquarters.
We will hear from our political experts about the race for Congress between Chris Collins and Nate McMurray and other races as well. Todd?
And you may also be hearing the winds gusting outside. We'll have the latest on that and what you can expect weather-wise through the finish of the week coming up next here, News 4 at 11.